The 49ers entered Week 18 having reeled off 12 straight wins in the division, with particular success against the Rams. However, having clinched the number 1 seed and home field advantage throughout the playoffs, the 49ers, who badly needed a rest, decided to sit some starters and key players. The Rams, on the other hand, while having clinched a playoff berth, could have dropped down to the 7th seed had they lost this game, meaning they would have had to play the Dallas Cowboys in the first round. Nevertheless, they also decided to rest some of their key starters and players, and the result would be a battle between Sam Darnold and Carson Wentz. In fact, a number of other players would see significant action for the first time this season. In what was essentially a meaningless game, I wasn't sure if there would be a lot of interest. However, you guys made it clear you wanted to see a full breakdown of this game. So without further ado, welcome to Josh's Football Breakdowns, where we don't tell you what you're seeing, we let the film tell us what we're seeing. And what we saw last Sunday was a quarterback who was confident and a coach who was confident in him. On the first play of the game, the 49ers line up with a running back in the backfield and 2 tight ends, one of them who was actually Kyle Juszczyk lined up in the tight end position. This could be a running play. But nope, Kyle Shanahan is taking to the skies on the first play of the game. And if you turn your attention to the bottom of the screen, you'll see it's our old friend, Ahkello Witherspoon, who's giving Deebo Samuel a lot of space on this play. Deebo takes the space the defense left behind. And Sam Darnold's technique is perfect to start this first play, reading both safeties all the way to the back of his drop, and when his back foot hits, his feet are lined up, and he lets it rip. For a quarterback who hasn't played in a while, this is the perfect way to start the game, even though the play only gains 6 yards, bringing up a 2nd down and 4. Now anyone can make it look easy when the conditions are good, but on this play, the center, Jake Brendel, takes an L, allowing Bobby Brown a clean shot at Sam Darnold. Darnold stays calm, buys time, and he keeps his eyes downfield, and at the last second he spots Charlie Warner and delivers the football. An 18-yard gain on a broken play? That's outstanding. And from this angle, we get a great look at what happened. You can see that Jake Brendel and Spencer Burford simply got their feet tangled up. But notice Aaron Banks. He realizes what happened, and he knocks Bobby Brown and gives Darnold just that extra split second to get free. Great play by Aaron Banks. And this is a nice throw by Darnold. Look at that. After some nice plays to Brandon Ayuk, which you guys have already seen, the 49ers would make their way down to the 1-yard line, where they would punch it in with Elijah Mitchell. And the blocking on this play is pretty simple. Everybody just blocks to their right. And it's going to be the safety, John Johnson, one-on-one with Elijah Mitchell in the hole. And Elijah Mitchell wins. And here we can see that the 49ers may have caught a bit of a break on this play. You can see Aaron Banks reaching out and grabbing the face mask of John Johnson, allowing Elijah Mitchell to bowl over him. And Mitchell may have been in the line of vision for the official who didn't see the foul. And the result is a touchdown for the 49ers, who take the lead, 7-0. And the Rams get the ball and they go on a long drive, and you may have noticed that here they're facing a key 3rd down and 3. And the play is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Let's go back to the snap and see if we can find out why it was stuffed. From this angle, we get a great look at the rookie left guard Steve Avila, who's supposed to get off his block and pick up Oren Burks. Now, you can see he's engaged with Javon Hargrave. Hargrave isn't allowed to hold him there, so he very shrewdly delays him for as long as he can and then lets go so he doesn't get called for the foul. but it's enough to slow down Avila, allowing Burks to penetrate and make the play with Nick Bosa. Now, why would you run on what is probably an obvious passing situation like 3rd down and 3? Well, there's a couple of different reasons you do that. One reason is if you think you're going to pick up the 1st down. Another reason is if you are intending on going for it on 4th down, and you're making your 4th down a little bit more manageable by picking up some yardage first. Well, the Rams do indeed decide to go for it on 4th down, and this is a really interesting decision because they're at the 34-yard line. This would be a 51-yard field goal attempt from here, which is makeable. Levi's is a little bit of a difficult stadium to kick in, but I couldn't help but wonder later on if the Rams kicker didn't have an issue during this game maybe, because LA eschewed a number of field goal attempts in this game and even an extra point. And at 2 different points, they did attempt kicks and they missed both of those kicks. So keep that in mind as we go along in this game. I just wondered if their kicker had a slight issue. All right, now let's talk about the play. The Rams rookie tight end Davis Allen just runs past 1st down yardage and sits up. And this looks like tight coverage initially, but we can see there's a little bit of space between him and Oren Burks. And we can see Logan Ryan is sticking with the wide receiver a little bit and then tries to double back to the tight end. This is very, very close, but Carson Wentz just guns this thing in there. Risky throw? Yeah, probably, but what choice did Wentz have? It was 4th down. A few plays later, the Rams will be facing 3rd down and 5. And here we can see Mooney Ward has excellent coverage on Puka Nacua. But Wentz decides to throw this ball anyway because he sees that Ward's back is turned. Did Carson Wentz have a good game? He threw to a lot of covered receivers, but good throws beat good coverage. Doesn't make a difference, but at the end here we see a flag come in. They would call pass interference against Mooney Ward, a call I completely disagree with. In any event, the game is tied at 7 apiece, and the 49ers, now in the 2nd quarter, would try to answer back. At this point in the game, Shanahan would start to pull some of the starters. Here we can see Aaron Banks is firing upfield, and this allows the Rams' rookie defensive end, Byron Young, to get inside of Jalen Moore. So Jordan Mason just runs to the outside of Moore and to the inside of Aaron Banks. This is a nice run by Jordan Mason. And he ends it with the physicality that we've grown accustomed to. Later on in the drive, we would see a play that you're probably not going to see the 49ers call very often. San Francisco starts with 3 receivers on one side of the formation. Then they put Charlie Warner in motion. Then they also put Jordan Mason in motion. At the snap of the football, the 49ers have 4 receivers on one side of the field. The Rams defense scrambles to match up, vacating the middle of the field for the quarterback draw. Ever the professional, Sam Darnold does a good job of selling the pass first and then taking off. Moving ahead in the drive, the 49ers would again get the ball down to the 1-yard line. How is Sam Darnold's quarterback sneak? Well, he does a pretty good job of getting low. But the Rams defenders get even lower, and the 49er offensive linemen get stood up on the play. This play could be stopped for no gain. But in a move that might be banned in the offseason, Spencer Burford pushes Sam Darnold into the end zone for a touchdown. So the 49ers regain the lead, 14-7. On the first play after the touchdown, the Rams would call double ends at the bottom and these little double curls up at the top. And if you're thinking we're looking at a lot of pretty basic plays in this game, we definitely are. These coaches are both calling very vanilla offenses. They don't want to reveal any secrets heading into the playoffs, especially because, well, at the time this game was played, there was a pretty good chance that the 49ers and the Rams could play each other in the postseason. Neither coach was going to call anything exotic. As far as the play itself goes, we see something similar to what we looked at earlier. Isaiah Oliver breaks for the flanker up top. So Wentz wants to go to the slot receiver. But this time the linebacker, Fred Warner in this instance, is a lot closer. Wentz needs to throw this ball away from him, and that's where the receiver sets up. But Wentz throws the ball to where he thinks the receiver is going to be, to the inside, and as a result, this ball is tipped and intercepted. Catchable ball, so I do put some of this on the receiver too, but look at Wentz's body language after this pass is thrown. The 49ers are in great position to get points off the turnover, but backed up by a penalty, they would be facing a 2nd down and 20. And we're going to keep our eyes on Jordan Mason on this play. He goes out for a pass route and he's got green grass in front of him, but Darnold throws this ball behind him, and Mason makes a great adjustment to the ball and then makes the linebacker miss and gains 12 yards on the play. Mason was excellent as a pass receiver, and he was also great on the ground, averaging 6 yards per carry. So why isn't he getting more playing time? Well, some of you probably already know the answer to that, but we're going to take a look at it later on in this video. The 12-yard gain puts the 49ers in a 3rd and 8 situation, and here we can see Ronnie Bell is breaking to the outside, and Darian Kendrick is set up to the inside. This should be a 1st down, and we can see Sam Darnold winding up to throw this football, showing some anticipation. But this is a difficult throw. He's got to throw with anticipation from the far hash, outside the numbers, down the field. It's one we've seen Brock Purdy do on this channel time and time again, and we've maybe gotten used to how good he is at it, but it is a difficult throw, and Darnold hangs this ball to the inside. And the pass falls incomplete. Wow. Yeah, I would like to see Ronnie Bell come up with a difficult contested catch there. It was 2 difficult plays, one by Sam Darnold, and then on the other end, Ronnie Bell had to make a difficult play. Neither one of them delivered. Am I being a bit harsh? Well, let me know. Leave me a comment. I read every comment. In any event, the 49ers bring in Jake Moody for a field goal attempt. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is no good. The 49ers are unable to score any points off the turnover, so the score remains 14-7. But they would have one chance with about a minute to go, right before the end of the half. Thinking Chris Conley is going to the inside, Darian Kendrick again sets up his defense to the inside and gets surprised pretty badly when Conley breaks to the outside. And ultimately, Kendrick just sits up, staring at Sam Darnold. And there's a saying in football, if you see the quarterback throw it, you're going to see the receiver catch it. And this axiom holds true on this play. even though Darnold again hangs this ball a little bit to the inside. "48-yard gain on the play. What do you need to throw the ball deep? Time. And in this case, Colton McKivitz is doing pretty good. But Jalen Moore is really struggling on the other side. But he does route Deshaun Johnson the long way around. And Sam Darnold is comfortable stepping up in the pocket to gain a little bit of extra time. Now, I just praised Darnold for stepping up in the pocket, but he doesn't quite set his feet on this throw, and I think that's maybe why the ball hung to the inside. It didn't really matter. Kendrick was in such poor position, he had no chance of getting to the football. So here the 49ers have 3rd and goal from the 5, and you can see there's only 16 seconds left in the half. How would you defend this situation? The Rams decide to only rush 4, and they drop everybody else back into the end zone, and the coverage looks pretty tight. In fact, we can see that Ronnie Bell and Quentin Lake are really jostling with each other, and since they're fighting with each other, the officials don't throw a flag on either one of them. But Sam Darnold figures that Bell has leverage here, and he makes, in my opinion, a very good throw on this play. Touchdown, 49ers, and that was a big score right before the end of the half. Jake Moody comes on to try the extra point. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick, once again, is no good. And this would be the last kick that Jake Moody would attempt during the regular season. And Jake Moody, by large, has been a very reliable kicker this season. But he did miss a game winner, and so every kick that he does miss really is in our consciousness. It brings up all of our anxieties that we have as fans about kickers in the NFL in general. So there's a little bit of concern heading into the postseason, but I'm hoping that the reliability Jake Moody has shown in the regular season will continue throughout the playoffs. All right, let's move ahead to the third quarter. The Rams started the second half by embarking on a long drive, and here they run a variation of a play the 49ers love to run, faking the run to one side and sneaking a receiver out to the other side. In fact, the Rams have sent 4 receivers downfield, but there's a couple of problems with this. For one thing, there are a lot of red shirts back there. In addition to that, the 49ers rookie defensive end Robert Beal Jr. is not fooled by the play and has a clean shot at Carson Wentz. Last year, we looked at a play on this channel where Brock Purdy was in a similar situation, and he demonstrated tremendous elusiveness and was able to get the ball to Deebo Samuel for a first down. Well, let's see how Carson Wentz handled this situation, because Carson also showed nice elusiveness in this game, but this time Beal's able to bring him down, just getting enough of him to trip him up for the sack. And that would be Beal's first sack in the NFL. So the sack would put the Rams in a 3rd and 17 situation, and they're on their own 33-yard line. So again, we're talking about a long field goal attempt here, about 50 yards, but Since it's 3rd and 17, if they get a few yards on this or don't get anything on it, they're not really in a position to go for it on 4th down. This would be a big play. Knowing that the Rams are likely going to have to throw deep to pick up the yardage, the 49ers very shrewdly put 2 safeties back deep. However, with 3 receivers on one side of the formation and only 2 on the other, I would like to see Taylor Hawkins line up a little bit wider, maybe even as far wide as the numbers. Why? Well, if he had to run to the middle of the field to cover a route like this, for instance, he would be able to do it because he's lining up in between the sideline and the middle. But starting out from the middle, he is not going to be able to run to the sideline, which is what actually happened in the game. If he had been starting out from this position, he would be able to. Now, I'm sure you're saying, wait a second, Josh, Darrell Luter Jr. also got burned on that play, and I would say to you, you're 100% correct. It was a compound of errors that allowed the Rams to pick up a 3rd down and 17. Threatening to score, Carson Wentz sees that Samuel Womack has his back turned, so he throws this football, and the Rams score a touchdown on a long drive to open the 3rd quarter that takes more than 10 minutes off the clock. Wow. Tremendous catch by Tyler Johnson, just tremendous. Brett Maher only attempted 2 kicks in this game, both extra points, and here he misses this one, and it's a pretty ugly miss. The 49ers still lead by a touchdown, 20-13. And here, things start to go very badly for the 49ers. With the defensive end and the defensive tackle converging here, Jordan Mason inexplicably runs around them to go out on a pass route, allowing Brian Young the inside lane for the sack. And that was a bad one too. Darnold was hammered on that play. On the next play, Byron Young again beats Jalen Moore to the inside, and Jordan Mason again runs right by him. This time to pick up a late blitzer, Sam Darnold has to get rid of this football for a 3-yard gain. On 3rd and 14, it looks like the 49ers have Ronnie Bell for a 1st down, but he's kind of jogging out there, and him and Darnold just aren't on the same page here, and the pass would fall incomplete. Alright, who in the heck is number 9? That's their rookie draft pick, tight end Braden Willis. And here he does a great job of chipping before going out on his pass route. On the other side of the formation, Jordan Mason does not chip, and Byron Young is able to go around Jalen Moore. Once again, Darnold does step up into the pocket, but the pass is off the mark, whether due to that or miscommunication between him and Ronnie Bell. In any event, Jordan Mason would be pulled from this game. Kyle Shanahan would put Elijah Mitchell back into the game. Jordan Mason would not see any snaps for the remainder of the contest. We've talked about it time and time and time again on this channel. Being an excellent running back is not enough in the NFL. You must be able to pass protect, period. With 10 minutes to go in the game, the Rams pass up a 52-yard field goal this time, instead electing to go for it on 4th down and 4. Needing to get to the 31-yard line, Ben Skoranek is eventually going to come open and would probably get the 1st down. But the 49ers do something very rare here. They send an all-out 7-man blitz, a zero blitz, meaning there are 0 safeties Back deep, very risky, but in this case it pays off. The pressure gets home to Carson Wentz for the sack. It's very close, but he is down here and the ball is still in his hand. He does flip this ball out so quickly, it did fool the officials initially, but upon further review, he was down by contact and the 49ers would get the ball. The Rams turn it over on downs. With the lead in the fourth quarter and Elijah Mitchell back in the game, the 49ers would start running the ball and start working the clock. Needing to get to the 48-yard line on third down, Sam Darnold gets happy feet a little bit and he tries to take off here. As it turns out, Michael Holt hasn't gotten very far upfield on his pass rush and he's in great position to get downfield and combine for the tackle on Sam Darnold. So, after converting a number of third and fourth downs to maintain possession throughout the game, the Rams had finally been stopped on fourth down, and the 49ers followed that up by going 3 and out and punting directly back to the LA Rams. Not good. And here Carson Wentz sees he has Ben Skoranek one-on-one with Taylor Hawkins, the safety, with nobody else back there, so Wentz decides to launch this football. The pass is badly underthrown, but Hawkins is beaten so badly he just pulls Skoranek down, pass interference, and this would be a huge play for the Rams in this game. And Carson Wentz just took a massive shot at the end of this play. Wentz knew he was going to have this one-on-one opportunity pre-snap. How do I know this? Well, look at this drop back. And here we get a great look at Hawkins just pulling down on the arm of Skoranek. Easy call for the official. With 5 minutes to go, facing a 4th down and 2, the Rams issue another field goal, but this time it makes a little bit more sense, and they call a very nice play to pick it up. Hopkins goes deep, and Tutu Atwell goes to the sideline, and the route of Hopkins is enough to slow down Samuel Womack, allowing Atwell to gain separation. And this time there's no pretense, it's straight to the quarterback draw, using the running back as the lead blocker on the play. And this one was likely schemed up for this specific game. Why would the Rams do that, and how do I know that? Well, they're likely not going to call a play like this for Matt Stafford at any point during the regular season or the playoffs. In a game where the Rams are trying to rest players, they do not want to go to overtime in a meaningless game. So once again, they eschew the extra point and go for 2. They start out with the fake handoff to the running back, and then Carson Wentz rolls out. And this doesn't necessarily fool the defense. Tutu Atwell is going to come across, but Taylor Hawkins has good coverage on him. There goes my hero. With Samuel Womack bearing down on Carson Wentz, he decides to throw this pass anyway. I told you at the top of this video he would throw a lot of passes to covered receivers. This isn't a criticism of Carson Wentz because, if anything, he should be commended for knowing the game situation. It was a 2-point try. You only get one shot at it. You have no choice but to throw this football. And what a catch. The catch 4? The successful conversion gives the Rams the lead, 21-20. On the 49ers' following possession, Sam Darnold would again show nice mobility, escaping the pocket, getting a pass downfield, and Ray McCloud just can't quite hang on to it. And the 49ers would punt back to the Rams. Inside the 2-minute warning and with no timeouts left, the 49ers would come up with a big stop against Carson Wentz, another designed run, and it does not go down as a sack because this time the quarterback was intentionally running the football. So San Francisco is going to get one last shot at this, but there is not very much time and they don't have any timeouts remaining. And here we would see some pretty good defense by the Rams. Look at the stem of the route of Chris Conley. It looks like he's going deep. So the safety makes sure he stays deeper. He can't allow a long one in this situation. And check out the corner, taking away the sideline from Chris Conley. They allow the middle of the field because if they complete a pass to the middle, the clock will run. And Darnold spikes the ball to stop the clock. On the next play, Darnold starts off taking a long look to his left, but then he comes off of it. And that's interesting because it looks like there was a couple of routes that would have opened up over there. Instead, he decides to try to scramble, fumble, Rams recover, and that's the ball game. It looked like he was going to try to maybe dirt this ball towards Ray McCloud to stop the clock and prevent the sack, but the ball simply slipped out of his hand. The 49ers' 12-game winning streak against the NFC West is over. Ultimately, what did this game end up meaning for San Francisco? Well, essentially nothing. They escaped this game without any serious injuries to their major players, a very positive outcome from a game that had no impact on the standings for San Francisco. They are going to enter the playoffs as one of the healthier teams in the NFL and with the benefit of extra rest. And if you think about what happened in the playoffs this weekend, the 49ers are really, in my opinion, in an excellent position in the NFC. The Rams were red hot entering this game. There's no other way to say it. With Kieran Williams, Puka Nacua, and Matt Stafford playing at very high levels, there was a possibility that the Rams, with their knowledge of the 49ers as a division opponent, could have threatened them in the postseason. A lot of people like to laugh at that, but the fact of the matter is that that was a legitimate threat that we needed to take seriously. However, the Detroit Lions have knocked them out of the playoffs, eliminating that threat. The Dallas Cowboys were another team that had the potential to be a threat to the 49ers. Again, people like to laugh at that, but the truth is, Dallas at times this season was able to put up a lot of points. The 49ers have beaten them several times in recent years, and they probably would have beaten them again. Nevertheless, we can enjoy the fact that one of our bigger threats is out of the playoffs. The 49ers will now get the luxury of playing the 7th seed, the Green Bay Packers, another team that's getting hot late. But in this case, the 49ers have a significant advantage. What is that significant advantage? Well, the Green Bay Packers are going to have to come into Levi's on a Saturday after having played on Sunday. They're going to be the road team on a short week, the hardest thing to do in the NFL, and it is going to be especially hard on Green Bay as they were also the road team on Sunday. That's very rare, and when it does happen, the team that has to play those back-to-back road games on a short week almost always loses the second of those two games. It is very, very difficult. And if you think Dallas had to do this last year, now they did come into Levi's and play the 49ers tough. They put up a valiant effort, but at the end of the day, San Francisco was just too powerful, and that's how I see this game with Green Bay playing out as well. The NFC Championship game will probably be a matchup against the Detroit Lions, although we can't be too sure of that. The Eagles and the Bucks have to play each other, and then the winner of that game will play Detroit. So we're getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. For now, it's going to be Niners and the Packers on Saturday. Folks, I want to thank all my new subscribers. Let's see if we can get to 11,000 before the end of the year. If you like what you've seen here, please subscribe, because we do this every week, sometimes by popular demand. And there's a lot of people I gotta thank for a video like this. I could not do this without the love and support of the lovely Mrs. Putnam. So say thank you to her in the comments. She sees all the comments you guys leave for her, and she really appreciates them. And of course, I want to thank the people who have really taken the time to go the extra mile on this channel and help it be the success that it is. You guys have allowed me to take the time to give you the quality that you deserve. Every single week I say it because I mean it. You humble me and you honor me. From the bottom of my heart, I sincerely appreciate your generosity. Thank you so much. It really does help. It really does mean a lot. And like I said, I appreciate it. All right, it is going to be Packers at the 49ers. One of the teams that kind of tormented us in the 90s, the 49ers have returned the favor in the 2000s, knocking them out of the playoffs several times in recent years. And I think this Saturday will be no different. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen in that game, but you know that we are going to be here to break down that film, and I will see you guys then.